Alright guys, just before we get into the video, I just wanted to take a moment to say how thankful I am for everyone's support, everyone who's been downloading the files, everyone who's leaving the amazing comments, the people who've been buying it. I didn't even plan when I made this to have a store to sell, but there were so many people that were in demand that I was like, alright, well, I guess I'll do it. So it's up. I've got a reasonable price on it, I think, but aside from that, this video is mainly just to hopefully be able to show how I use the free shot, how I go out there and deploy. It's also showcasing some of the other things I've got, like my far end spooled end fed half wave. It's the best thing I can describe of it. You'll see how it works. But hopefully answer all the questions I get on how and why I use it and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to ramble on, so I'll go ahead and get back to the video, and I'll see you afterwards. See ya. Also, by the way, I was on lunch. That's why I'm in uniform. Just ignore that. Okay, bye.
All right, so we're out here, and we're about to get set up, but I figure kind of go over everything that I've got, and kind of everything that I've used, we're going to use here. So as far as the antenna, we've got a end-fed half wave. Now this is a bit of a special one that I've made and designed. I'm sure someone else has done it as well. This is what I have called a far end spooled end-fed half wave. And so just a kind of quick explanation. This spool is actually what would go up into a tree. And then, so this is an 80 meter end-fed half wave. Well, I'm not going to use all 80 meters of it. I'm only going to use about 40, go down to about the 40 meter band. And so what this allows me to do is, whether it's a space restriction or I just don't want to use all of it, I can just pull out as much as I need. And you'll kind of see it when I go and do it. But the general idea is I hook it up. I've got my coax and a 1-to-1 current choke, hook that up into here, put this up into a tree with a little bit of it spooled out. And now I'm just going to have this just enough tension that it's going to hold the line, but still allow me to spool it out. And we're just going to keep pulling it out until the VNA states that I'm resonant on the lowest band that I intend to use that day. So that's why I like it. It's super versatile, whether it be a space restriction or your situation changes. I don't need 80 meters. I don't need 40 meters. I can go, oh, I only want 20 meters and above, I guess. So that's why I choose to use this. This is also on my Maker World. I haven't started selling these. I don't know if I intend to or not. We'll see kind of how the demand is. However, like I said, the model is available. You need a few bearings and a bolt, and that's really all it takes. All right, next we'll go over the G90. This also has one of my models, which is a kind of, I don't know what I would call it. It's just kind of an insert. If you're not familiar with the G90, when you take the head unit off, you're not able to retain the rails. So what I've done is I've printed this off, and it does a few things. It gives you a tilt, obviously, right? So that gives me, it's about a 20-degree tilt. I can see all of this super clearly when it's on. It allows you, I've got some heat inserts in here, so this allows me to keep the rail on. But it also, when you want to use these serial cables, so kind of like here, you should be able to see. Let me see. Okay, yeah, you can. So how it has these retaining screws, well, this doesn't have that when it's attached to the actual G90. So you actually have to take the screws out, add the studs. I didn't like that. What this does is I've removed these actual screws here, and now this is what holds it in, and it does a great job. There's no play in this. It also adds a bit of just a strain relief as well. So there's that. And then we have the star of the show, that being the free shot. Now, this is the version 2 some of the major improvements. We're adding some more surface area right here. I had one of these break. I do think it was because of really old filament. It was bad filament. I hated printing with it, and I had it for months. And I think it was just, and it snapped across the layer lines. So I think that was the issue. However, it takes next to nothing to add this. It's barely any more print material. So I think it's worth it. This is the new spool. It uses considerably less filament because you're not using supports. The old one, this back was just flat. And so you had to support that, or you had to support this inner ridge. So we've done away with that. And now you have just a cone on both sides. It needs no supports, I don't think at all now. You might actually, I say that, I think the only supports that will print are just to hold up this notch, because you'll print it kind of this, facing this way. I've also added 2 more of these line retaining points. And I think that's really it. Some little cosmetic things, like I added a bevel to here and all that, but other than that, most of it stayed the same. I think, there it is. At version 2, I had to close this gap because weights. We've got a little compartment down here. I like to use that for holding my spare weights in case the line breaks. I've only had that happen one time, and it never happened again. So actually, I don't think it was even the line that broke. These used to have eyelets on them, and those eyelets are actually what came off. So I've actually removed the eyelets and drilled a hole straight through them, and works so much better. You're not going to have these. I've done away with the extension. I don't want to go too deep into the weeds here, but I used to have kind of a choice even. I almost recommended the longer pouches. My thought process was like, you have that longer pull, you're going to get more range out of it. But I just had nothing but issues. So right now we use the short, it's a 11 centimeter pouch, and the models don't even have these retaining points anymore. Maybe in the future I'll work that out, but I just couldn't be bothered. And then the last thing we'll kind of go over is just the bag. So this right here is everything I take out if I want to do more portable ops. I'm actually hiking into somewhere where I'm not taking an FT 710 or something like that. So we've got the main pouch. We've got the G90 base. We've got a 48 volt to 13.8 volt converter, and we have a 19 amp 48 volt battery, and so that will run this for a long time. I have I got these at a great price. I actually got 5 of these for $150, and this was the only odd size out. This one was 19 amps instead of 14 point something amps. Those are in a bigger battery bank, but this is my portable one, and this bag is great for it. It just kind of, you can see it fits just perfectly in the bottom of that. So before I forget, we'll go ahead and put this on. You're gonna see a little spark as this happens, but there it goes, perfect. That's in there. And that means our G90 will power on. Ta-da. Oh boy. Go ahead and turn that all the way off. This is just a little 3D printed cover for the XT60. And I think that's pretty much everything, except I've got a few spare pouches, and I also have a longer RG316 BNC cable. But I think that's everything, so we'll go ahead and cut to the next part, which will be actually deploying the antenna using the free shot. So I'll see you in a second. All right, hopefully we're at a good angle here, but we're gonna head and deploy this antenna. So first step is to remove the line from the keeper there. Just drop that into the bag. Now, I'm gonna aim for this tree. I kind of want to keep it out of this wood line when it comes back down, so I may try to aim for some of these branches. I think I'm gonna stay pretty low today. So, pretty simple, weights in the bag, and you go ahead and pull back, Take aim. Oh, that one wasn't a good launch. Go ahead and pull that back in. You got to be real specific, or sometimes it just does not. Oh boy. Make sure we don't get this stuck up into a tree. Okay, pull. So you can hand spool this like I am now, or I could have grabbed my drill. Just couldn't be bothered. It's just one more thing I got to carry. And this is kind of where I might experiment with getting some smaller weights. This 1 ounce weight might be just a little too much for what I want, or it might just be being a baby when I pull this back. We'll see. All right, let's try for a more straight up approach. Really, we gotta make sure that none of this gets behind the spool, or you're just gonna get it wrapped up. It's not a good time. And she's really fighting me today. Okay, that looks pretty good. Nope. You know, this is how it goes sometimes. You're just out here, you're trying to make a good thing, and just life just keeps kicking you down. There we go. Take aim. Oh, that would have been a beautiful deployment if I hadn't caught the teeny tiniest little branch. We'll be back. Oh, we're nearly there, but I figured I'd actually talk about this. So I think part of this problem is when I spool these, I use the drill all the way. And so it gets just you get a good and bad. You get it, it's really nice and tight and compact. However, I think it starts to drag into the line a little, like intermongst itself, however you want to say it. I didn't go to college. Oh no, we're good. All right. So I think that hinders the deployment. And so what I think I'd recommend is if you're using the drill attachment to spool this, which I recommend, is you only use it for the very inside, and then the last, I don't know, 100 feet. I think you could fit about 300 feet on here. So about the last 100 feet or so, you just hand spool and, keep it organized, but kind of not super loose, but not super tight spool. And that might help with the deployment a little bit. So you're not digging. What in the world have you done? Okay. So you're not having to deal with this kind of stuff, because I think that's kind of what my hindrance is right now. I've had really good reports, and I've had really good launches, but sometimes they're hit and miss. Sometimes I'm just bad. Who knows? But we'll try again. All right, 3rd time's the charm, right? Something like that. We're gonna get straight below. I'm gonna aim for a little bit further down the tree. All right, actually, that might have been it. I can't tell. We might be on that lower branch, unfortunately. Oh, well, you know what this means. The whole 3rd time's the charm thing, that's just played out, obviously, When does the 3rd time's the charm ever work? Never works the 3rd time. It's always like the 5th, right? Hopefully not the 5th. We're going to be here all day. I'm going to run out of memory if we take 5 tries at this fucking thing. Excuse me. At this thing. Got to keep it family friendly, I think. Who knows? I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. And we're just kind of sending it as we go. But here we go. All right. Oh, whatever time this is. Oh, what in the... Oh, look at that. Totally the first time. First time go. Beautiful. I may have spoke too soon. You know, you're getting the real. You're getting the, you know, at least it's a nice view, you know. Nice little river we've got down here. I'd like to go over to the other side. We've got some nice trees over there too. Then I have to get a hold of people. It's a whole thing. So how's your family? There we go. Look at that. First time. First time. Every time. Please tell me I was recording. Thank God. I'll be honest. That would have really broken my heart. I wouldn't have had the spirit to continue. So you put that in the keeper. We're going to go back over here and grab the line. Oh, we're going to go find that weight. Now, if you guys aren't experts like me and you don't get it the first time, that's fine. You know, it just takes a little bit of practice. But you know, you'll get there. I promise. Okay, so here's the other line, the other side of the line. And for this, I just like to keep the weight on. This 550 will help keep it from oh, I thought I heard a deer. Squirrel. Anyways, it'll keep it from wrapping around a branch, which would be terrible. So, back over. You know what? I think this is time to use the drill. We'll be back. All right, note to editor. You make sure that we don't include all those bad shots. You know, we definitely got this on the first time. Who am I talking to? I'm the editor. All right, so we've got the drill. This is just like the launcher there. Just gonna line it up. It technically latches in, but you don't need to. I keep it on a low speed. Just kind of watch it go up. Make sure we're not getting too caught on things. We're gonna catch a few branches, that's fine. Right now we're just catching a lot of tension because of the 550. Time will tell if I need to change that or not, but we're getting up there. There she goes. I thought I felt that catch on them then. All right, we're going over the branch. There you go, we're free. Let's just pull that in. Oh, a little caught. Make sure we don't bring that other side up too far. Doo-doo-doo. I can almost taste it. And just like that, first time go, your antenna, or you have your line up. Ah, no. Oh, dearie me. Then you're just gonna undo your line here, which you probably won't be able to see. Okay. We're doing great things. Okay. Sick. So that's the spool. That's the spool launcher, or the antenna launcher. And just like that, really nice click into there, and I'm really happy with it. So let's keep going. We'll get this spool up there. See you in a sec. All right, quick update. We're waiting on this boy to charge. I had it clipped to my hat, but it died. So, quick update. I had this on the wrong side when I was tuning this. So, we've swapped that around. You want the current choke as close to the feed point as you can. And then this isn't going to be super accurate, but we're looking. It is, don't trust it because it's literally just resting on the car, but we're in the ballpark right now. And so I'm going to wait a little bit for that thing to charge. And we'll be back. All right, so we'll go ahead and turn this down. Just a few things. So camera died, so we were just waiting for that to charge. In the meantime, we've got the Unan set up here all the way up into the tree. I'm going to cut in some of my phone camera. I had actually misspoke. One thing you got to do with that, once you get it generally tuned, is you bring the spool back down and lock in that tensioner. If you don't lock that in, you're going to have a bad time. I don't even know if you can... you don't need to see it. Anyways, it's up there. It's tensioned down. We've got a pretty good taut line. It's not too taut, but it's pretty good. And now we're going to find some POTA activation. So we're going to go ahead, go on here. Let's go to spots. Okay, KF4Y. All right, let's see if we can get him before my battery dies. I'm going to make sure I'm tuned in here. Kilo Echo 2, Golf Yankee Hotel. Roger, I got you, I copy a 5.6. I've got you about the same into upstate New York. I lost you a little bit through there, but hopefully you can get a 5.6 out of upstate New York.
All right, so that didn't quite go as planned, but we got it up there. Obviously, it takes some time to get used to using it, but just keep at it, you'll get it in there. Anyways, I hope that was able to really answer any of the questions that I've been getting on how or why I use it. Again, if you want to make this yourself, the files are down below. If you don't have access to a printer or a friend who has a printer, I also do sell them on Etsy. So if you need to do that, you can, but I do recommend trying to just find someone to print it if you can. Save yourself some money and go make some different antennas instead. Until then, I've been KE2GYH. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep making contacts, keep doing POTAs and SOTAs. I'll see you then.